Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and should I say welcome to a very brand new Navigraph Charts 8. Alright, so yeah, I was pleasantly surprised the other day when I clicked on the icon, and then this popped up. Alright, so yeah, it's really good. I wasn't expecting that at all. Having said that, we did use the old previous version of Navigraph Charts for quite some time. All right, so what do we expect, or what can we expect in this update? All right, well, here it is, okay, and this is what's new in Navigraph Charts. So we've got worldwide VFR charts, and that's a welcomed feature because, as you know, Navigraph really didn't support much in the way of VFR. Okay, so that's a welcome addition. All right, that's really cool. Seamless zoom. All right, you can get much closer now to the Earth as opposed to the last Navigraph charts, which is one of my little quirks about that. You couldn't actually zoom in as much as you should really. So yeah, and we've got 3D globe projection, so you can basically tilt the Earth. And moving maps. All right, well, we've always had moving maps. Okay, so yeah, this is there as well. Now, a really good, cool feature is the auto pinning, okay, procedure chart. So you may remember that you had to literally do it one by one, and really it's a little bit time consuming. So it's really good that they've decided to put that in as well. So auto pinning charts, okay, and also weather information as well. Right, so you can literally just get the METAR straight from the system software. So yeah, it's really cool. All welcomed improvements in Navigraph charts. All right, so you may remember, some of you who have been using Navigraph charts, that some time back, in fact about a year ago, I actually did make a how to use Navigraph charts video, okay, on YouTube. So here on the channel, it's not obsolete. There's still a lot of stuff in that video that perhaps I'll mention in that video, and perhaps maybe not mention in this video. So if you want to, you can have a look at that. Okay, but we're looking at the new version today. Okay, and just seeing what changes there are, what's improved, and what may be not so great an improvement, because sometimes with improvements they actually take things away, things you're used to doing, so we'll have a look at that. All right, cool. So let's get on with our tutorial. Excuse me. All right, so as you can see here, we've got the Earth, and it's pretty flat looking, really. That's because I've turned off a lot of the filters, okay, which is here. So we're going to be looking at that. All right, and you've got settings here, and you've got a few icons there. All right, and up here, and actually, if I put this on F11, that should get rid of that there. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so let's get to it then. Now, let's have a look at. Should we have a look at this first? Okay, so this is settings. Okay, so not really too much on the settings really. So obviously you got a day and a night theme. That looks quite nice, isn't it? Very nice. Okay, and you've got a scale. Okay, now this refers to the text size. Okay, so for those of us who are not quite well sighted, then if you want to increase the text size, then you can actually use that. This is, well, it's called a Mercator. All right, it just basically downsizes everything. So I mean, for example, let's have a look. Look, so you've got South America here, and then you've got Greenland. Okay, well, we know Greenland is far smaller than South America, but that's what the Mercator does. It's not really for us flight simmers, to be honest with you. I'm not Sure why it's put there. It was more for seamen, voyages, travels, and stuff like that. So, you know, unless you guys know differently, I stand corrected. All right, so let's go back to globe. Okay, that's where we want to be. Okay, and you've got auto follow as expected, chart mode, and a commercial airlines operation. All right, so that's all on of the settings. Okay, so what I wanted to go to now is this one here. So these are the map filters. Okay, so I've actually got everything turned off. Okay, just so we can have a clean base to start from. Okay, so if I clicked on this, then everything would be reset to a VFR standard. Okay, or yeah, just everything suitable for VFR flying. Okay, but I'm just going to go through this one by one really. So looking from the bottom then, so we got base. All right, so just going to click on that. Actually, let me just let's just zoom in. Okay, let's just zoom into Italy, for example. All right, so go back and base there. Okay, that puts those numbers on the map. This one is grid. Okay, so you can see world grid here. Okay, I don't really want that in. Now terrain, of course, it's going to give you the terrain, and there's numbers there, more numbers. Okay, and yeah, so you can see the terrain there. Now, if you right click on the mouse, okay, so remember we said you can actually tilt it. Okay, but you notice as you tilt it, we don't actually get the hills and mountains. Everything has gone flat. All right, so yeah, I mean it would be cool to have the hills and mountains, but you know it's not in this version of Navigraph charts. Okay, all right, so press the north up button and put it back. All right, so that's that. Go back to filters and all right, so low warnings. Okay, now you can't see it, but they actually do appear near the airports. Okay, and if I actually I'll tell you what. Well, let's just go through and then we can go to airports. So high points, okay, and this is waterway labels. Okay, so basically with the waterways here, okay, it will label the waterways as you can see there. All right, so how far we can zoom in. Yeah, let's look at that. You can zoom in actually real close now, so that's really, really cool. Very nice. All right. And now let's go to infrastructure. Okay, so roads. Okay, now unfortunately unfortunately the roads are not named. Would have been good if the roads were named, but they're not at the moment. All right, let's have a look. So if I take road names off, no, not named. Okay, all right. So as road names, roads, railways, we've got, okay, very important for VFR flying, power lines, okay, obstacles, okay, now with the obstacles, I think that's the only thing that stands out in 3D, so as you tilt the Earth, now you can see that the obstacles actually do stand out, so they do stand up, so that is in a 3D. You can see here the obstacles there stand out, so yeah, that's cool. All right, and populated areas. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so you can see the map now is gradually getting filled. Okay, now let's put airports in. So we've got airports there, and we've got VFR airports. Okay, cool. All right, so that's great to see. Okay, populated areas, and we progress. So now we can put controlled spaces, okay, which is something that you need to know if you're going to do any VFR flying. Okay, so it's really becomes very, very important now to, if you're going to do VFR flying, especially on VATSIM, do get to know your heights, your controlled spaces and areas, because the controller will expect you to know it, really. So that's something that's really, really important. All right, cool. So let's move on, and we've got restricted airspaces. Okay, that assists VFR flying. FIR, okay, flight information regions, and VFR spaces. Okay, VFR spaces around airports. Okay, like so. So if we tilt that, okay, we get this again. So yeah, and you can see here the restrictions. Okay, and you've got class D and so on and so forth. Okay, cool. And it's moving up to the VFR navigation flight path. Now this is a good one as well. Okay, so flight path. So this basically is really, really great for VFR flying. So let me just have a look, see if we can see the flight path. It should be around every airport really. So I don't know, let's choose this one, Verona for example. There should be flight path indications around the airport. It's not around that one. Okay, what we can do, so we've got a search up here. Okay, we're going to search for, say, let's go to EGCC, which is Manchester in London, and look how quickly it zooms over. Okay, there we are, and I do know that the flight path, the VFR flight path is there. Okay, so you can see here, if you're going to do a bit of a VFR flying online, these are the correct ways to actually approach and depart the airport. So that's your VFR flight path. Okay, now something else very important for VFR flying is waypoints. Okay, so click on this. Now finally we've got what's called VRPs, visual reference points. Okay, so these are the waypoints that you need to tell, or you need to let the ATC know that you are approaching, say, from Macclesfield South. Okay, and he will actually guide you in to the airport. So you'd go Macclesfield South, you'd head to Hilltop, join the arrival, and land on runway 23 right or 23 left. Okay, and if you're departing, if you're going to go north, then you'd actually go via one of the VRPs right here. Okay, so there's, even though you're VFR, there is still a structured way to go to the airport and a structured way to leave the airport as well, the area. Okay, as well as maintaining, of course, the requested height at the airport. So for Manchester, I think it's about 1,500 feet, either that 1,500 to 2,000 feet, and they'll quite often instruct you not to go beyond that until you actually leave the area. All right, so that's that. So and you can see also here you've got the search box. Okay, and anything you search for, you're going to have a list of recent searches there, which is really cool, isn't it? Okay, all right, so we'll look more into that shortly. So let's just go back to, let's hide that. Right, oops, get rid of that and go back to that. Okay, holding patterns. All right, now I'll tell you, I've tried to look for this, right, but I can't find where these holding patterns are. I'm trying to see it now. If I click on this one, you can see that the holding patterns actually do appear. You can see there. Okay, but I don't know about the holding patterns here. Perhaps I'll find it at some point, and traffic patterns as well for VFR. Okay, so can't actually see any changes. All right, so maybe if you guys know, you'd be able to let me know in the comments below. Okay, so I haven't tinkered about too much with the software, the new update from Navigraph charts, and I suppose I'll discover a couple of these things soon. Right, so now you've got helipads down here if you're a helicopter flyer. Okay, so you can see here that this appears. You've got H right there. Okay, so let's see now where helipads can land, I suppose. Okay, and just zooming out, we'll get rid of these populated areas. It's a bit taxing on the eyes. Okay, so now where are we going? So nav NDB. Okay, so we can click that and they will appear somewhere on the map. Okay, that's switched on, so there you go. You've got the NDBs and terminal NDBs. Okay, so we can just basically turn everything on and the map will start to get really busy. Okay, all the stuff here and the airways. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's the map filters. So if you want to just customize it for VFR, just click on this and that just customizes it for VFR flying, you know, everything you need. Okay, and if you have a look up here, you've got this little window here. Okay, the windows can't move about. Unlike the previous version, you can actually move some of the windows about, which was really cool because you can actually move it around and you didn't have to keep going back to open it again. So yeah, I suppose that's something I miss. All right, now you've got here IFR low, IFR high. That would correspond to, if you remember the previous version, world high and world low. Do you remember that? Okay, and world. Okay, so you've got that there. Okay, and sorry, and this one here. Okay, do you remember that, world high in the previous version? Yeah, cool. And this one is basically turn your aircraft on the map. Okay, so you do have to have the Sim Connect activated. Okay, and that's all provided for you anyway when you download the software. If you're new to flight simulation, just to let you know that Navigraph Charts isn't free, it's subscription based software. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It's not too much in the pocket, it's a yearly thing. So, but you know, it's just something that you pay for and forget about and use the software. All right, it's really necessary software because a lot of the aircrafts that we have all have Navigraph integration now. Okay, it's such an important part of flight simulation. We're talking about BAE 146 now. Okay, Phoenix A320, of course, a fly-by-wire, and you know, many other aircrafts that's been created now is going to have Navigraph charts and SimBrief integration. All right, so yeah, it's just something you have to cough up and just forget about. You don't have to have it. You can get free chart software like ChartFox and SkyVector. Okay, yeah, right. So let's move on. So we've covered these. Okay, and we've covered these. That's standard. You can search for you can search for any kind of nav-aid here. Okay, so just searching for Digan there, you can see Digan is right there. Okay, like so. Okay, and you got the information box here underneath that gives you more information about that particular waypoint or an airport or whatever it is that you've searched for. Okay, cool. Right, so let's go to this one, shall we? Flight. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so now there's several ways to actually create a flight plan. Okay, So these are this is the previous flights that I had. I've got on my system. Okay, these are all previous flights. This is good really, because if you want to redo a flight, you just got it right here. You know, and you don't have to kind of like recreate it again in SimBrief. Although having said that, you may want to update the times on SimBrief if you want a particular time. So yeah, that's the only point. All right, so let's go to this and click on create flight. By the way, you can actually click on edit and you can get rid of all of this. Okay, delete all if you wish. Okay, so we'll cancel that. All right, so we're going to go to new flight. All right, now just up here you've got enter text route. Okay, so I'm going to enter. This is just one way to actually do create a flight plan. So you can't right click on the mouse. Okay, like you can do just on any text on Windows. You can right click and copy, but I'm going to, no, it's not there. So what I'm going to have to do actually is go to let's see if I can go to now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Sorry, I'm just going to highlight this of SimBrief on the other page here. Right click, copy. Okay, I'll grab that. That's fine. Okay, so let's just, sorry, cancel that out. Okay, cool. And right, so now click on this. Okay, and I'm going to do Control V. It's the only way to get the text in it, right? So that's the format. Okay, do leave the forward slashes in. Okay, and click done. And there you are. It's automatically created a flight plan based on the text string that I've put in. Okay, all right, so it's nice and easy. Okay, it's one way to do it. Okay, and you can see up there it's got red for the SID and red for the star. Okay, I'm not sure why that appears, to be honest with you, because they are bona fide SIDs and stars that I've put in. Don't really know why, but if you have a look over here, now you can see this pane on the left hand side. Okay, so here we've got, you can just put in a new flight name, the distance, okay, IFR, VFR, standard, as we said, a commercial airlines operation, and the cruising altitude. Okay, you can export the flight plan, and this particular flight plan is from Zurich to Bologna, Italy. Okay, Lima, India, Papa Echo Airport. Okay, so as you can see from here, any dashes means that the software is leaving it up to you to decide how you want to exit the airport. And with the destination as well, you can see here how you want to enter the airport. Okay, which is normal really. Okay, so what we can do actually is just turn off some of these things here because we don't really need it. So let's turn off railway. So we actually, do you know what? To turn all this off, you can just switch that. So rather than actually doing it individually, just switch that all off. Okay, and we can switch off airspaces. Okay, and can switch off VFR navigation. Okay, and this as well. Okay, so just to clear the map up a bit, and helipads. Okay, yeah, switch off VFR airports. Okay, all right, cool. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so there we are. We can see it a bit more clearer now. Okay, so now as you can see here, we've got the actual airport. You can change the airport from here. Okay, if you click that, you've got a whole host of airports that you can choose from. Okay, just click on any one of them, add to route. Okay, you can do that, and here you can actually go to information about the airport. So we've got information there. Okay, runway and elevation and so on and so forth. Okay, charts and procedures. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so let's just go back to where we were. Okay, hide that, back to flight. Okay, so, and underneath there, like I said, you've got information again, and you can actually open the airport and open charts. Okay, so lots of different ways to access various features of the software. Okay, right. Okay, see, perhaps we can just turn off these numbers here. Okay, as well. Okay, cool. So now runway 34. Okay, winds 1 knot and 3 knots there. Okay, and you can click on that once again, and you can actually change the runway if you so wish. Okay, and here you can once again get more information. All right, or remove. Okay, so let's actually go and select departures. So departures available. So we got select. Okay, now this very colorful diagram comes up. Very nice. Okay, so what have we got? Now these are your SIDs available. Okay, so we've got it in graphical representation here on the screen, and if I can get that a bit smaller, it doesn't seem to be going smaller. Okay, or we've got it over here as well. Okay, so now if we click on one of these, okay, you can see that while the rest of the SIDs are there, they're actually decolored. Okay, so they've gone grey. Okay, and what highlights is the actual SID that you've just selected. Okay, right there, which is good. Okay, so you can do that, or you can click on another one. Okay, and it will just highlight all the other SIDs. Notice on the left hand side as well, it's been highlighted there. Okay, you can switch it off by clicking again on that one. You can't actually do that for say by clicking this. If you click that again, it won't actually switch it off. You have to actually click on this left pane to switch it off and go back to the color chart. Okay, all right, so these are all your SIDs from that particular airport. Okay, now once again, you've got here, so you've got 3 icons. This is your overlay, this is the actual map, and this is information. Okay, so we've chosen the Deges 1 Juliet departure, so to find out more about that, so we can click on that. Okay, and now we can actually get an overlay of the departure with its relevant information. Okay, now another box or another window up here appears. Okay, so you got that one there just to give you a more centralized view of the departure and the map. Okay, and if you want to see the map on its own, the chart rather, just click that one. Okay, and as usual, you got various customizations here. We can customize it like that, okay, or the other way around, and you can print. Okay, you can increase the size, and you can basically widen it like that. Okay, and full screen, though I've got to hide that, I suppose. Okay, so and you can pin it as well. Okay, right, so that's that. Also opacity as well, or opacity, however you want to say it. You can go 100%, okay, or you can go down to 90%. You can see a bit of the background terrain appearing. 70%, you can see a little bit more of it appearing. Okay, however you want it. It's very customizable. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so we've done that. Now, if you want to add it to your route, if you're quite happy with that departure, then all you have to do is click this one here, add to route, and there we are. All right, and don't forget that you've got the 3D projection. So once again, you can right click and just tilt the map like this. Okay, and it just gives you a different perspective, in this case on your departure. So you can basically tilt the map like that and follow yourself out. Okay, and you can see your constraints right there. Okay, and basically follow yourself around here like that. Not that you're going to get much time to do that when you're actually on departure. All right, but it just shows you what you can do with the 3D projection. Okay, so and there you go on your route. Okay, so yeah, that's just something you can do. A nice little feature there on Navigraph charts. Cool. All right, so the route has been added, and you can see it down there on the left. All right, and just there as well. Okay, and you can actually just click this, and it just goes back to giving you options to change it once again. Okay, we click add to route. Cool, and these three dots as well. So once again, this is just another way to open the chart overlay, or get some more information about it, or remove it. All right, cool. So that's basically all of your SID set up. Okay, just quickly, if we go down to another chart, okay, yeah, and you can get the other overlay chart on that one there. Okay, so yeah, okay, I think you get the idea, guys. All right, so we'll go back to that one and add that one to our route. All right, now let's go to the destination. Okay, so now we're looking at stars now and approaches available. So once again, you've got your weather information there, not too much, it's just wind information really. And arrivals available, so it brings us right down to our arrivals. So in the same format, it's all nicely colored for us, very, very clear. Okay, and we can do pretty much the same thing. So we know it's going to be it's a Bennu 2W departure. Actually, for this, if we go up here, we can just get rid of this. You see, we've added the SID there, so we'll just go here, click on these three dots, and remove that. Okay, and there we are. It's actually got rid of that. Go to this one, click on that, brings us to the arrival there. Okay, so we're going to select our arrival, which is the Bennu 2. Where is it? It was here somewhere. 2W. Okay, it's somewhere there. It was. Should be coming from the north, really. Okay, can't quite see it. But anyway, I'm going to click on this. Oh, there it is. It's popped up. Okay, so once again, the arrival that I've clicked actually is highlighted. Okay, as you can see there. So it's the same principle, guys. All right. Remember what this does? It's an overlay. Click on that, and you get the overlay. All right, and click on this one. It just gives you the actual chart. Okay, cool. And to add that to route, just click on add route once again, and there we are. Right, now we've got our approaches. So select approaches. Okay, and so we've got several approaches. You can choose whichever one there. Okay, so ILS runway 30. So you can actually click on these. So click on that, and you can see once again it's highlighted the approach that you've chosen. And also just click on add to route, and there we are. Okay, you've got your route all set up for you. Okay, which is cool, isn't it? Okay, you can add on alternate. Okay, so it's giving you no nonsense alternates here. Okay, you can add this to route like that. Okay, it doesn't actually give you all this information, but it nevertheless it makes it an alternate for you, and you can click another alternate as well. Okay, if that one's not available, or if there's weather issues, then you've got two alternates down here. Okay, and information. Right, cool. So that is a yeah, a flight map. Now, one of the cool things actually you can do before I forget, okay, is this. So what we need to do is just go back to navigation and turn on the nav aids. Okay, it's right there. So one of the cool things you can do now is actually customize your flight. Okay, so let's just say, for example, we wanted to go via Suksan and then Apted, for example. Okay, so we want to just have a little bit of adjustment on our flight plan. So what we can do now is just click on the route. Yeah, click on the route, and then we'll just drag this over. Okay, now I find it a bit tricky. To actually do this. There we are. Okay, that's a bit tricky. Out. So we're going to drag it over. Okay, so if you notice, it's snap to. That's what we call it. So it's snap to. So it makes it easier to actually locate and drop on to the waypoint. Okay, so it's almost like it's magnetized there. So we can drop that. Okay, and now we've created a diverted route. Okay, and we can do that again for say, if we want to go to Gongo here, we can just click on this. Okay, now I haven't yet fully worked out how to actually get actually pick it up, as you can see there. So yeah, a little bit tricky for me to do, but nevertheless, I think there's a double click there. You can double click, but you'll be able to pick it up. Okay, and there we are. Okay, so we've actually altered our route somewhat. Okay, cool. So that's done. Now you do have an auto route function. Okay, so if we unload all of that, okay, and we click on new flight, okay, and we'll you can actually just type in the well, it's got new flight here, so let's just call it Zurich to Bologna. Okay, okay, that's just the name of the route. So we got down here, so origin. Okay, so you can select, okay, like that, or you can actually, so let's just get rid of this. It really does cloud up the map. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so where are we? Italy. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Okay, so let's go LIPE, for example, and so you can actually click on this to select it, and you can, and there we are. We can add to route. Okay, so it knows that this is the beginning of your flight plan creation. So it says add as origin or destination. So we'll add it as our, say, destination. Okay, so that's destination, and we can actually go back up here, go back to Zurich, okay, and add to route, okay, add as origin, okay, cool, and there it just created a direct flight plan for us. Okay, we can click on this. It's got here auto route. Okay, we can do that. Either select low or high altitude. Okay, so we'll select high altitude and create. So it's auto routing our flight plan for us right here, and there it is. Okay, and once again you're left to choose your SID and your star. Okay, so choose your SID, choose your star. Okay, cool. And so that's that. And so we know about this. Runways available. Okay, we've done that. We've covered that. All this we've covered. okay, and alternates we've covered. Okay, now the other way to plan a flight, of course, is to import your flight plan from SimBrief. Okay, so let's import from SimBrief. So click on import flight, import from SimBrief. Okay, so the last flight created on SimBrief, okay, is going to be at the top. So that's the last one I created. All right, so we'll click on that and import and open, and there we are. Okay, and it's actually pretty much done most of that flight plan apart from the final there. As you know how to do that anyway. All right, so there's our flight plan. Okay, now just zooming in on the airport. So I think flight plan creation is covered really. You can do it individually if you want, by going from waypoint to waypoint, just clicking on them and adding them to your route. Okay, and and this feature is pretty much like the last one as well. So if I just maybe get the waypoints up, nav aids and waypoints. Okay, so if I want to add Gamza, for example, right click on Gamza, add to route. Okay, so it's going to ask me where do you want to drop it. Okay, so this is one I would like. I'd like for the windows to move. It would be nice to click on that and just move it out of the way. All right, so say we're gonna put it between these 2 points. Now we will look for say Osdorf, I think it is. So we'll click it before Osdorf, and there we are. It's dropped it there. Okay. And now it's basically saying to us, well, where do you want me to go from here? All right, so we're going to have to actually join these two. Okay, so so it's got here, look, 22. Okay, remove there, and it's joined up. Okay, so that's one way to actually manually create a flight plan. All right, so now let's actually go to the airport. Okay, so this is something that's cool as well. So let's actually unload the flight plan. All right, so now you can actually really zoom into the airport. I mean, way zoom in. And you can see all the taxiways there, and you can actually see the gates as well, which is really good. All right, and if we were taxiing and you had the follow me on, okay, so click on that, you see moving maps. You can actually click it on follow mode, map orientation, north up or track up. Okay, so I haven't actually got the flight sim open at the moment, that's why we can't actually see the aircraft on there. Okay, but yeah, it will actually track your aircraft as you're moving. Okay, so this is really handy for you've landed, especially once again on VATSIM, when a controller gives you the ground controller gives you taxiway instructions. Then if it says taxi to gate hotel 12, using Echo 3, Echo link 7, link 5, and so on and so forth, so you can actually pretty much see where you need to go. Okay, so that's really cool. All right, that's that. Okay, so we've got that, and we've got position here and so on and so forth. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to look at is the auto pinning. Okay, so let's go back to a flight. Okay, let's load up a flight plan. Okay, that one there. Now if you have a look at the bottom, okay, you can see that along here it's actually auto pinned everything for us. Okay, which is really good. Okay, there's that one there, and there's that one there. Okay, it's just really done everything for us, really. So here we are, we've got the airport information. Okay, and you can overlay that right, on the map as usual. We know about the star, you can overlay that, and the airport destination, airport at Bologna. Okay, you can click on there, and airport information as well. And also, if you want to have, say, parking stands, you can manually click on the parking stand. So all these like parking stands are extra. It's not automatically going to come up with the under the auto pinning system. Okay, so you're going to have to just add it yourself. Okay, I like that. Okay, and so you can see here that we've got parking stands added at the correct airport, like so. Okay, now you can actually save it. So save this as your new pin. So Zurich to Bologna. Okay, and create. Okay, now if you go to the pin icon here, you can see that we've got what we've just created there. Okay, if I click on that, okay, it's going to ask you. It says pinboard conflict. Okay, so if I do select copy, it will copy. Oh, there you are. I see the colors there now. It will actually copy another set of other routes, auto pinning to this route. Why you'd want that, I don't know. But if you click on edit, then it will clear the ones you've just actually added. You can't actually clear these because they are part of the current route. All right. So yeah, so all the list of pinboards will appear down here, which is a nice feature as well. Okay, so that's really cool. This one here, so we've basically got the standard information that you'd expect and that we're used to with Navigraph charts. Okay, the star, the approach, taxi, SID, and reference as well, all of which can be overlaid. Procedures, as we've looked at already. Okay, arrivals, approaches. Okay, so all information is right here, guys. Okay, and there you can select things here. So you can see it's really customizable. It's really excellently done. Really happy with the new format of Navigraph Charts 8. So that's really cool. All right, so now just going on this one, flight. Okay, so we've covered all of that. Okay, covered the pins, covered this as well for the information. All right, so nothing too difficult there for us. Okay, charts. Okay, you can actually filter the charts. So at times there's quite a lot of charts available. So if you just type in 19. For example, it'll just give you whichever's under 19 and 10. You can do that. Okay, if you want to do it that way. Search facility. Okay, I think we mentioned that as well. Okay. All right, so let's just hide and go to flights and. Right, okay, so there's one thing I haven't shown you yet. I think I must have skipped past it. So now if we just go to, we go there and let's say, for example, let's go click on that. And so, yeah, back here actually. So weather. All right, so runways, weather. Okay, so you can see here that the current weather at the moment, according to this, okay, is not IFR. It looks like it's pretty bad. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty bad here. So you can see weather here at Zurich. Okay. And look, overcast at 600 feet. All right, it's 183 meters. Okay, temperature's okay, and at dew point. Okay, but it's not IFR. Okay. Now, if we was to go back to, say, back in Nice. Sorry, yeah, Nice. There you go. VFR. It's okay. That's okay for VFR. Okay, you've got terminal area forecast as well. Okay, it's all green. So that's quite good. Immediately you can see the weather there. Okay, which is really good. So information on tap, and right here you've got comms as well. Okay, so once again, excellent for VFR flying. Got comms right there. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, and yeah, so like I showed you here, you can actually decrease the text size if you want, and increase it there. Okay, so that's cool. So yeah, I think, guys, I think that's about it really for the software. I can't think of anything else to show you. Okay, I think we've covered most of it. If there's something I've left out or something extra you could alert everybody to, if you discovered something that I haven't mentioned in the video, then please do write it in your comments below, so we all help each other out, and we can actually get to use the software more efficiently. Okay, as it is new, so everyone's perhaps just learning a little bit about it. All right, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, yeah, I think that's about it. So guys, please do, if you like the video, do click on the like button as well. Okay, please do subscribe to the channel, and please do share the video as well, so that'll be really helpful. So that's about it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again in the next one. Take care for now. Bye.